20 years have taken to complete this particular project, Rahat. During the last 20 years, the scene of the music industry has changed a lot. The new styles of the compositions are used, new softwares are used, new instruments have been developed, and new sounds are there. Rahat CD is having the element of all these 20 years, decades, 2 decades worth of composition inside.
Welcome viewers of Suniye Tau and also the team Rahat led by brother Abbas Raza Alvi, Raza bhai jinko hum kehte hain, और special guest today is Rehan Jafery Saheb, who is a well-known sound engineer and a famous music arranger living in Hobart, Tasmania. So thank you, the two of you. And I now hand over to our regular anchors, Fasi bhai and Iram, to take this program forward. But before that, I'll also thank Omila ji for her presence, as she has agreed to listen on, and hopefully she will have some input later on. So thank you all for being here, and I hand over to Fasi bhai to take the program from here, especially talking about the fun and tribulations that from the sound engineer's point of view that Raza bhai and Rehan has had in terms of the feelings, emotions, creating music, tune, and then of course the most difficult part of sound engineering, that CD setup. Thank you. Fasi bhai, please carry on.
बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you very much, इक़्तिदार भाई. बहुत शुक्रिया तमाम लोगों का, और सुनिए तो के सुनने वालों को भी बहुत शुक्रिया. फिर से दोबारा उन तमाम लोगों को बहुत शुक्रिया जो लोग इस प्रोजेक्ट में अपने आप को वॉलंटियर किया और इसको कामयाबी की तरफ लेके गए हैं. Fabulous. And Rehan bhai, I'm just worrying about and can't understand about look, you are here, brought up here, learn here, and develop your skill here in this environment. And the type of music you choose to play or help people or compose is entirely different than the Indian music, Indian shairi, or Indian songs or geet. How you manage to do all these things with time, and also read with lots of artists, discuss with artists. They say that, like Abbas bhai, he always say on the stage that the music has no boundary. And today I believe it. And you endorse my belief that yes, the music has no boundary, it has no language, it has no culture, it is independent of everything, and it can go and sit with any language, irrespective of origin or the way it has been talked or written or song has been composed. That's I'm saying, at your personal point of view, how challenging did you find it? Because I hope and I thought that this was your first project.
Right, correct, sir. I mean, you're absolutely right. This is my first project as far as the eastern side of music is concerned, with the fusion. But as you said before, music has no boundaries. Music is music, and I really feel it here. Every time, every second, whenever I listen to any genre of music, whether it's rock, jazz, anything, the music is music. I really can feel it up here. Absolutely. I can close my eyes, and every second I can feel the power of music. So, and this project is no different from that belief. What really I deeply personally think about it. I mean, yes, absolutely, I agree that I have a diverse taste, and I'm more inclined towards a different genre of music. And really, I've been doing this since my childhood, early days, since I was in class 5, year 5. That's when I started singing and playing instrument and guitaring and everything. So I thought that I was really inclined and extremely motivated to really take music as my full-time career. But unfortunately, due to family constraints and other phase of life, this is really not practically possible. तो हमने सोचा कि why not, just to quench my thirst and lust for music, I will keep it going no matter what. देखते हैं कहाँ हमारा दिल और दिमाग, अगर वाकई में ये हमारे अंदर है ये टैलेंट, तो फिर वर्ल्ड इसको लोग देखेंगे, हमें एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Music speaks, basically. So and that's really what I think. So I really don't do music just for the heck of it. Yeah, aisa hai. I feel results first inside me. I feel that happiness, no matter what day, what time, night, anytime. Music is just sort of, it's really my everyday. It's my breathing. That's how I think I feel I breathe with music.
You don't take it as a hobby, or it?
Well, sir, it was, and I still I kept it as a hobby, because when the hobby is converted to a profession, it just doesn't really take you where you want to go inside here. So I thought, well, it's a good idea to keep this as a hobby and my deepest passion, which I found really good, because in my other job, I work full-time with Qantas. That's what I do for a living. But that's totally a different side of my life. That's a job, gives me daily bread and butter. But on the other hand, I have met many good musicians, very professional musicians, a solo artist, and I every week I do at least 2 sessions here in my studio. I have not a massive studio, but I still have a decent sized studio where I do a lot of recording, isolated track recording with the vocals, with different instruments. So I have different guitar amps and everything set up on the other side of the room. This is my mixing and my mastering room, where and I should say I'm a self-taught. I never took any formal training in this. I did, so I am a self-taught. I am friends with really professional sound engineers. There's a Rob Halford. There's a guy here. He's pretty big in Hobart, so he's my very good friend, and he's my inspiration. And above all, Mr. Alvi, absolutely, he's such an inspiring soul to me. Really, without him, this thing wouldn't be there. Frankly speaking, no. He's the one who actually inspired me to start studio and really start everything, really. So I am blessed and honored to know such a lovely person like Mr. Alvi. Absolutely.
So how did you convince your professionalism to him, or how did he choose you as a professional? Because he is a very tough person to deal with. How did you prove your expertise and professionalism in the music, and how did he trust you that you will be the fantastic in delivering this project?
Also, I think आपने वो कहावत सुनी होगी कि दिल से दिल को राहत होती है.
क्या बात है, वाह वाह.
It's a very similar context there के music से music को राहत होती है. So Mr. Alvi I've been watching him from a long time, 20 plus years, and I don't know whether he is mentioned to you or not, but I know from inside that he used to be a live performer in his younger days back in Russia. So he used to perform live music. So he's not a new person in the game. He's been there for a while. And which kind of really inspires me a lot. His actions in that regards inspires me a lot, and really he's the one who kind of provoked me in a way. कि हमें भाई you have to keep your passion alive. हमें उनसे inspiration मिला काफी कि अगर आपको अंदर की दिल की खुशी चाहिए तो अपना आप हमेशा दिल की सुनिए. I know it's a very practical life these days, काफी materialistic चीजें हैं, and unfortunately we have to cope up in this world.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, if you don't listen to your heart, I think then you will not be able to keep yourself happy and others happy as well as a result.
Another question, Rehan bhai, that you went through all this journey in the development of this CD and your contribution as a musician. What stages do you think that this particular stage is challenging, or this particular stanza or the word is challenging to incorporate in the music? Did you find any challenge in this one?
When the tracks were handed to me, this Rahat tracks were handed to me, I was a little bit confused. On the other hand, a bit dazed. How will I take this? Because frankly speaking, this was the first time I have done something like this, where you have like a mellow sort of sound, where nice ambience, you have great vocals, absolutely, with the classical touch. I felt really blessed. I felt really, really happy from inside. The moment I listened to a few tracks here, I was sort of thinking, which way should I take them now with them? So I kind of motivated myself for at least a couple of days about these tracks. I did loaded them in my phone actually for a few days, and I was listening to these guys, these AirPods, at least for a few days. How should I take that mixing and mastering journey? How do I create that? As I was talking about headroom before, because keeping in mind that ये 44.1 kilohertz का project होगा, क्योंकि CD में ये burn होगी. It will not be any live streaming or anything like that. So it didn't have much headroom to play. तो आप ये देखेंगे कि जब आप headphone में सुनते हैं ये project, ये CD, so you will have a little bit of a different feel in that, and I'm pretty impressed on how. And really, not to mention awesome musicians and vocalists. Really, I've heard the tracks. Really honored to listen to some really talented souls.
In the entire track, do you have any your favorite? Because in some of the project and some music or track or composing, some people say, "Oh, this was my favorite." You know, do you have something your favorite track which you really enjoy?
Really hard, sir. Really hard for me to say, because every track is really a masterpiece of its own. Really, it just how it's composed is absolutely. It's really a great track. Nothing wrong. I wouldn't say that it could be better. It could be worse. I think it's perfect for what it is. It's a message of harmony. It's a message of love, a message of peace. So what I was saying, that this project is a masterpiece in its own. Really, jitni tareef kare is project ki kam hai, and I'm sure it's gonna rock the world. जब ये CD release होगी, आप लोग देखिएगा कि वाकई में ये एक काबिले तारीफ इसकी composition and just
definitely.